Hello, my name is Abby Harvey. I am the Deputy Communications Director for the Blue-Green Alliance. Thank you all for joining our webinar. We will be having a section for questions and answers at the end of the event. If you would like to ask a question, you can do so using the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Now it is my pleasure to hand it over to Dan Taylor, who will get us started.
Thank you, Abby. My name is Dan Taylor. I'm the Appalachian Regional Field Organizer for the Blue-Green Alliance. And we're here today to talk about some new polling highlighting we're here to talk about highlighting new Build Back Better polling in West Virginia done by the Blue-Green Alliance. And we have some great speakers here with us as well. Brandon Dennison, CEO of Coalfield Development Corporation. Keena Mullins, Chief Growth Officer with Revolt Energy in Nitro, West Virginia, and Angie Roster, Executive Director for West Virginia Rivers Coalition. I'll start out by just giving a little bit of framing for the conversation today, and then pass it off to our panelists. And then, as Abby said, we'll have some Q&A at the end. So again, as I said, my name's Dan Taylor. I am the Appalachian Regional Field Organizer here at Blue-Green Alliance, and Building Back Better is America's path towards a clean, thriving, and equitable future. We believe that we need a recovery for and by America, making the products that we need to repair our nation's infrastructure and rebuild American manufacturing here in the U.S. And we're here to talk about a new survey of voters in West Virginia that reveals support for many of the provisions included in the Build Back Better plan. The broad economic, infrastructure, care economy, and climate crisis package currently being considered by Congress. And the survey can be found right now on our website at bluegreenalliance.org/WV survey. Specifically, the survey found that West Virginia voters favorably view provisions aimed at improving our nation's water infrastructure, ensuring that public investments are tied to requirements that products, technology, and materials used are made in America, and that we invest in the workers and communities that are being impacted by our nation's energy transition. The survey reveals that voters are particularly interested in the job creation potential of the Build Back Better plan. And more than 2/3 of those surveyed said the following are very or fairly important reasons to pass the Build Back Better plan. Bringing good jobs back to the United States, making sure the products that we use are made in America. 75% of respondents viewed that favorably. Helping rebuild the middle class with jobs that pay enough so people can support their families. 70% viewed that favorably. Making historic investments to improve the economic situation of working people and to create more stability, security, and opportunity for America's working families. Had a 65% favorability rating. And when asked about specific provisions included in the Build Back Better plan, respondents had favorable responses to the following. Rebuilding America's water infrastructure to have cleaner, safer water delivered more efficiently, removing hazards like lead in water pipes and creating good paying jobs. That came in at 77% favorability. Ensuring that major public investments include requirements that the products, technology, and materials used, again, are made in the US and provide good pay and benefits, 80% favorability. Strengthening and supporting America's human services workforce, including care providers, frontline healthcare workers, and educators, which is a big part of the Build Back Better plan, came in at 73% approval. Rebuilding and retooling Americans' manufacturing and modernizing our factories to build more products and clean technology here in the US, 74% favorability. Finally, prioritizing investments to communities that need it most, including energy workers and miners most affected by our energy transition, 66%. So again, we here at Blue-Green Alliance think the bipartisan deal negotiated by Senator Manchin is a great start, but also not the end. of what we need to do to build back better. We would like to see Congress act boldly and invest in America to build a clean, thriving, and equitable economy for West Virginia and the rest of the country. And again, you can find that survey online at bluegreenalliance.org/WV survey. And with that, I will hand it off to Brandon Dennison.
Thank you, Dan. Really happy to be here. Really passionate about this jobs piece. So Coalfield Development is a nonprofit organization based in Southern West Virginia. We help start new businesses. We call them social enterprises. These businesses are designed to model what a more diversified, sustainable economy can look like. We have light manufacturing businesses, solar businesses, construction businesses. We've done innovative mineland reclamation practices. For the last 11 years, we started in 2010. I feel like in Southern West Virginia, we've just been in survival mode. Our economy has been so bad and our infrastructure so poor that we're just trying to survive and get by. And I'm excited in this effort, the kinds of ideas that I'm hearing with this effort. It's an opportunity to not just survive, but to actually rebuild our economy and get back in the lead. So something that I love about the West Virginia workforce, we're not afraid to get our hands dirty. We're not afraid to roll up our sleeves and do the hard work, retrofit the buildings that need to be more energy efficient, get up on hot roofs, install those solar systems that need to be installed, grow local food. We're not scared of this hard work, and we're proud to do this hard work. And so I think with this effort, it's a chance to not just survive, but it's actually an opportunity to take the lead and to build the new economy that we don't only need it here in Appalachia, we need it for the country and we need it for the world. And I'm excited to be a part of that. There are good ideas here on the ground. There are great entrepreneurs here on the ground. We need investment at a large scale to be able to take these good ideas that have been executed on a shoestring, take them to the next level and achieve a larger scale of impact. And I think we have a historic opportunity to do that. So I'm proud to be here today. I'm proud to be supporting big, bold investments in the West Virginia economy. And once we get to Q&A, I'd be happy to take any questions that folks might have.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Brandon Dennison, the CEO of Coalfield Development Corporation. Next up, we have Keena Mullins, Chief Growth Officer at Revolt Energy.
Hi, everyone. Am I muted? Okay. My name is Keena Mullins. I'm the co-founder of Revolt Energy, which is a solar company that we started in 2019 in Charleston, West Virginia. And I'm also from the coal fields of Virginia. I was actually hearing about Coalfield Development Corporation's Rewire Appalachia program that spurred my interest in learning solar as a solution to replace some of the energy sector jobs that I was seeing lost in my community, first in coal and then in natural gas by the droves. There were 400 employees in Dickinson County working on oil and natural gas, and I started to see layoffs and being acutely aware that climate change was real, and we were going to start seeing solar development regardless of people's political affiliation. I knew that something like this would be coming and wanted to have an Appalachian-based contractor that's capable of executing multi-megawatt scale projects. So we founded Revolt Energy for the development, to provide development for projects of that scale. In 2019. Earlier in 2021, we were acquired by Nitro Construction Services, which is a company that's been around since 1959. Nitro Construction Services is one of the largest signatory contractors for the IBEW. And they acquired us to run a solar division, but Nitro also has a robust mechanical division. We employ union pipe fitters, union sheet workers, and millwrights. So the results of this survey solidify what we already know, that West Virginia's voters are tired of watching politicians kick the can down the road on important issues facing our country, and the time to act is now. We need our leaders to rebuild the middle class, to create good paying jobs, and to modernize our nation's manufacturing sector. One key takeaway from the survey that I want to focus on is that 66% of voters in our state prioritize investments to communities that need it most, including energy workers and miners most affected by the transition to clean energy. And Revolt Energy believes that Appalachia doesn't have to miss out on growth within the renewable energy sector while our region waits for policy to catch up with technology. We want to enable our customers to take full advantage of the incentives and support available at both the state and federal levels. And we employ local union workers to make sure the job is done right. One of the things that I find most exciting about the Build Back Better plan is the incorporation of project labor agreements. And for solar specifically, what a project labor agreement facilitates is that if Nitro Construction Services were to win a solar farm contract in a region that's outside of local 466 territory, we could only send 4 of our best journeyman wiremen into that territory. And every other electrician that would be installing that solar has to come from the community that we're installing the solar in. That's exactly what we're doing in Huntsville, Alabama for Toyota. And this is how you ensure that the jobs that are created by development in renewables are going to the people in the communities where the development is being constructed. We see 4% of the solar sector are unionized, but all of our installers, all union installers, solar installers, you can be sure that they're getting a fair wage and benefits, and it's also a vehicle to make these jobs permanent. Building back better should mean that we lift up workers and create the kind of good middle class jobs that our state needs to thrive. We need to build back better to breathe new life into our communities, to ensure workers have access to good paying jobs in our state, and to clean up our air and water.
Thank you so much, Keena. And next up, we have Angie Roster, Executive Director of the West Virginia Rivers Coalition.
Thanks, Dan, and good to be part of this conversation today as Congress is considering historic investments this very week in the House, and of course the Senate will be weighing in the coming days as well. And at a time when, as other speakers have said, we're at this pivotal moment in West Virginia and the Appalachian region to redefine the future that we want to see that will attract people and retain people to the state, so our kids and future generations can see their future here in family sustaining jobs and high quality of life. As Dan said, I am the Executive Director of the West Virginia Rivers Coalition. We're dedicated to conserving and restoring West Virginia's exceptional rivers and streams, and understand that in that mission that the issues of infrastructure and economic development and energy and how we approach development in those areas matters to water quality and for the health of our residents, and providing the foundation for strong and sustainable economic development. And when I was looking through these polling results, it wasn't surprising that clean water and the value of that to West Virginia voters rises to the top. I think regrettably, West Virginians have had all too much experience with knowing what it's like not to have access to clean, safe water. And communities today are struggling with that. And we have a long way to go to make sure that every West Virginian has access to clean, safe drinking water. And to know that the Build Back Better plan includes this type of scale of investments that a place like West Virginia needs to transform our water infrastructure, are built in, gives me hope, and gives me hope that we can protect every West Virginia when it comes to health, and address the inequities that we see in certain part of the states when it comes to not being able to provide people affordable, safe, clean drinking water. The other advantage I see to these investments, and what I think West Virginians are coming to recognize, is that water and wastewater infrastructure relates to how we manage our rivers and streams for other uses, and how we also mitigate things like flooding risks and costs. Again, we've had, unfortunately, a lot of experience with what flooding can do in terms of cost of human life, rebuilding, and that there are ways that the Build Back Better plan can work together, not just in replacing pipes and upgrading infrastructure, but also looking at ways we can approach natural solutions, and ways that we can mitigate flooding risks by the way we build infrastructure in a more green and kind of long-term way, and create jobs at the same time. And finally, the potential I see for the setting up us for the win-win-win outcome and passing the Build Back Better plan is that we're not only addressing the health of our residents to help mitigate future flooding and other impacts that this region and the state will be facing from climate change, but also celebrating what some of the things we value most. And I think when we think about water and rivers and streams, we think of wild and wonderful, and we think of being the nation's home to the newest national park in the country, and the potential we see for not only our quality of life, but economic development when we take care of our water resources and use the best of what we have when it comes to the assets of the natural scenic beauty of the state for outdoor recreation, and just the privilege of living in a place as beautiful as West Virginia is. So exciting time. We've got to get this done for West Virginia. Our senators are in a key position to make this happen, and this is our moment. So it's reaffirming to see these poll results that see that West Virginians from across the state, from all political parties, are saying the same thing.
Thank you so much, Angie. Thanks to all of our speakers and everyone for being here. At this moment, if anyone out there, especially members of the press who might have joined us, have any questions, we would be happy to field some of those. Don't be shy. You can put those in the Q&A thing. And in the meantime, if anybody wants to think of any questions, anything any one of our panelists would like to add, while we have some remaining minutes left.
I would just reiterate, Dan, the significant job creation potential. So I know that was a key takeaway from the poll, and I think it makes a lot of sense. And so that so many different good outcomes happen at once as a result of a comprehensive approach like this. And I would also just say, when it comes to jobs or infrastructure or the climate crisis, this is not the time to think small. This is the time to think big and transformational. And we have an opportunity to go big and go transformational, and we need to seize it.
Very much agree, Brandon. Very much agree. Keena, what you add?
Yeah, I just wanted to echo what Brandon said just then, and I'm speaking specifically just from the solar sector. I can tell you what I've seen. For every 4 or so installers that we employ, the highest paid of which last year was $80,000. We need 3 support staff inside at least. And so we provide job opportunities, permanent job opportunities. All solar companies do, for engineers, for project managers, for procurement officers, human resources, sales, the opportunities for growth in jobs in the solar sector alone. I think there's a lot of misconception about those just being construction jobs.
Thank you, Keena. No, I think that's what it's all about, is using this moment to create more good job opportunity for the state. I think there's a lot of room there. And if we're not seeing any questions, I know everyone is busy, so we'll let you get back to your day. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. And one last time, you can find the survey at bluegreenalliance.org/WV survey, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Thank you all.